Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Founders Create. Today we have Michael, the co-founder of CreatorUp. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, tell us a bit more about yourself before coming up with CreatorUp, what you've been doing before that, and what eventually led you to come up with CreatorUp.
Yeah, I was a filmmaker and a teacher, and I had been working in the entertainment industry for over 10 years. And I saw during the digital revolution, when YouTube became a platform, when DSLR cameras became a technology, an opportunity to bring high quality, engaging video content to the world um, through a network of creatives who had learned how to do that with us. So we started as a learning company to train the world's creative professionals on how to create great videos. And we've evolved into a digital studio as well to provide that great content powered by our network of creatives.
So interesting thoughts, yeah. And how's the journey been so far? Are you bootstrap? You've raised, so you've been at
Yeah,
it for 8 years. So if you can.
we started as a bootstrapped company, and then we recently raised a seed round with some really high caliber learning VCs, and also so Learn Capital, Achieve Partners, and Metabolon. These are our three investors, and they're very excited about the future of creative education. They believe that creative education with the future of automation is the future of human skills. And so we're really excited to be one of the first companies that they've focused on in that area, and specifically around media skills. So yeah.
Amazing. So uh, interesting time these days, unfortunately, because of COVID. And yes, the with the training, it would be, I believe, on the rise. Online digital platforms are getting more and more traction. But when it comes down to the implementation of those ideas, especially in regards to film industry, which is very dependent on in-person work. So how do you see that evolving, or how do you feel it would go?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that is definitely something that we've had to consider. As a company, we're abiding by the social distancing policies, the shelter in place policies, and we've innovated to be able to provide remote production solutions for our clients. And as you know, production in general has many different formats, and many of those formats are producible without a physical group of a crew forming, animation, post-production, footage-based, etc. So we have innovated to provide remote solutions and other types of solutions for this ecosystem.
And we've seen art pieces being created through AI learning platforms and algos. Do you see any kind of those things happening in the filmmaking industry anytime soon? And how prep should one be towards when it comes down to that?
Well, I'll ask you a question. How many blogs have you read that have been written by a computer in the last 10 years?
That's a
You
good
know,
one.
not very many.
I got my answer. Yeah, I get. Yeah, yeah. It's more of. I agree with you. It's in not all of them, but yeah, in most of them, they're just like more of buzzwords than compared to practical
Correct.
utility. Yeah.
Correct. There is quite a lot of opportunity for automation in many different areas of the workflow for content creation. One of the most exciting areas for that is really even just defining what type of format makes the most sense for the right client and customer. So I foresee that we will employ automation in certain areas to be able to do needs analysis, to make content recommendations. So certainly there's a place for it, but I certainly don't think it's a substitute.
So, remote work has been on the rise for the past couple of years, and in the last 2 months, everyone has been forced to go remote. So, in regards to that, any three key learnings that you can share since you've been managing students and colleagues, I believe, remotely for a while, or been working with them online through your digital platform, marketplace, and everything, right?
Absolutely.
So any
Yeah.
3 points or three key takeaways you would like to share with others, how to implement better?
Yep. Happy to talk about that. So, the principles of productivity and efficiency are dependent upon behavior that includes uh, excellent communication, excellent collaboration. And so, as a company, we have been 50% remote for quite a while. So we're familiar with some of those best practices. In terms of how those apply to what we do, both internally and externally, we do have some best practices that we like to recommend. We're on a video chat right now. We believe that visualizing what you do and your interactions is really important to really getting the most out of your communication and your collaboration. So we encourage people to be on video when possible, with clients, with each other. We've also increased the frequency of contact. In a remote world, we believe that higher frequency is critical to productivity. So we have more time that we spend in a specific way with each other on project-based, tracking and updates, etc. And the last one I would just say is culture. I think this is the hardest one. Culture is really difficult to create in a virtual environment if you haven't already built a culture. And so how you translate your physical culture into a virtual world, we've been sharing fun videos and fun memes, but we've also been hosting, virtual coffees, and we use a little app on Slack called Donut, which does matching of our team members to do meetings with each other, that people they haven't met. So there are lots of things that you can do to create a nice remote virtual culture. And I think that one is the one that I think most about because it's the hardest.
Oh, thank you. Interesting insights. Um, thank you, Michael. Thank you so much for being on the show. I'm really enjoying it, but we try to keep our podcast between 8 to 10 minutes. Otherwise, I would have loved to keep going. But thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.